Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a rare sight. FP Journe Octa Divine in the 36mm case. Uncommon in and of itself, but add the triple pink combination of rose gold dial, movement, and case, and you have something extraordinary. Now, this is a more wearable version of the Octa Divine that first debuted back in 2003. You can see on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, 36 millimeters in diameter, from lug tip to lug tip, 46.8 millimeters, 10.4 millimeters thick, with a spacing between the lugs of 18 millimeters, and it does wear quite beautifully. Super compact. I can recommend it for a wrist as small as 13 centimeters in circumference. It really wears nicely on a petite wrist or on the wrist of a person with a taste for traditional dress watch sizes. So if you're into 40s, 50s, 60s, Vacheron, JLC, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, this is going to be right in your wheelhouse in terms of size and proportions. And you can see that the watch, although it is a little bit shorter across, it doesn't appear to be drum-shaped or squat the way some watches can be when you reduce their size. It's nicely proportioned overall, and you can see just how little encroachment there is of the lug on the edge of my wrist, and maybe you can even see it better down the barrel. An easy watch to fit underneath a dress cuff. The strap is a modern Journe strap, as you can see. Small, round scale gator on the bottom, a large rectangular scale alligator leather on the top, black, semi-gloss. We've got a monotone stitch with a folded edge. We have curved spring bars to reduce the impediment to the motion of the strap against the case flank. You can pull the strap straight down through the lugs. You can also see that it is a substantial piece of leather. People often ask, well, why have gator on both sides? It makes for a more expensive but longer lasting strap, and this watch is worth it. We have an FP Journe rose gold pin buckle to match the watch and is properly sized for this smaller timepiece and its strap. A standard FP Journe case shape, domed case back, domed bezel, a flange of case back and bezel defining the mid case, blended integrated lugs that turn 90 degrees from the horizontal of the case band. Everything is polished, and we have that double dimple knurled Journe crown right there. So the watch has a dial that's a media blasted rose gold. There's a brass and silver white galvanized bezel that sits on top that has the hours as well as the small seconds. The hands are blued, and as you can see, we have those biomorphic tapered Journe hands for the power reserve, the hours and the minutes, those little counterweighted lancet style small seconds. Double digit date, and you can see that the discs are flush. There's a quick set for that date. There's also a little moon phase built in. That too has a quick set. 120-hour power reserve. That's the chronometric power reserve, though in fact, if you're not particular about how well the watch keeps time, it'll actually go from 120 to 160 hours before it stops. So it will run for almost 7 days before it drops dead. It has quite a bit more endurance than Journe advertises on the dial here. We have caliber 1302. This watch was retailed in 2007. Caliber 1302, a solid gold version of the Octa 1300 automatic movement. You see that it is a free sprung movement, free sprung balance, beating away at 6 beats per second. It is a physically large free sprung balance with a large amount of inertia. So it doesn't have a high beat rate. It makes up for that from an accuracy standpoint with a very large amount of inertia and mass. And then we have solid gold bridges, plates, and rotor. The rotor is cut on a rose lathe for this wonderful Grand Dorge or barleycorn pattern. This is 22 carats. The plates and the bridges, those are 18 carats. You can see that there's a bevel on the edge of the bridges. We have black polished screw heads. There's some features like locating pegs that are used to help locate the bridges on the base plate, and those have polished tops, those locating pegs. The wheel's been satinated. The escapement's been polished. There's engine turning on the base plate, and all of this water resistant down to 30 meters, though I strongly suggest you don't test the theory. You can see that this is a Eleanor case, French made. This is something that was discontinued about mid-2008 when Journe bought Eleanor and moved it to Geneva. But you can see the Eleanor maker's mark and then the double eagle stamp of the French hallmarking, which is why you have both the Swiss and the French hallmarks. It is a French-made case. That's actually where it came from. This is a rare watch. Scarce in any form, the 36mm Octa Divine is highly sought by traditionalists. In this combination of pink on pink on pink, it's extraordinary. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details. And because I know somebody's going to ask, 30 meters water resistant, but you know better than to test that theory. Again, Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing.